So this is a review of the JetBoil Sol Advance. So the JetBoil Sol comes all in one sort of container. It's all carried, it's all integral, all in one pot, which is quite easy for carrying around in storage. It's quite light, which is another thing I noticed straight away. So we've got the lid, which has got drainage holes, sort of doubles up as a colander if you're cooking pasta dishes. There's a bowl on the bottom, which isn't the easiest of bowls to unscrew, but there's little markers on the side to tell you how much liquid's in there as well. The pot itself's got a heat exchanger on the bottom, as we all know, and it's got little sort of sections in there to screw it onto the stove part. As I say, everything fits in one, so you can fit a 100-gram gas canister in there. Then we've got the stove part itself. There's also another pot stand for wider based pots, and the feet just sort of swivel out just to increase the diameter of it there, but we won't need that for this particular pot. And then there's also the little stand there as well, just to stabilise it a little bit on uneven ground. So obviously the stove part attaches to the gas canister. You flip out the little control for the level of gas and you screw the canister on. Fold out the feet, and this should just clip straight on. So that levels it out, keeps it nice and stable. So once you've attached the feet to the bottom of the canister and you've attached the stove to the top of the canister, what's next to do is get the cup, and you should line it up with some little indentations on the stove itself there. And you can just twist it round, and that holds the cup on top of the stove. Obviously when you take it off, you turn it that way again and it just pops straight off. And that's how we set it up. So obviously the JetBoil's main function is for boiling water, in such a small pot at least. The big ones you could probably cook a little bit of food in there. You should never turn it on without putting water inside the pot first, otherwise you end up damaging the pot. So just going to stick enough water in there for a quick brew, and just for the purpose of the video really, just to show you how easy it is to use. So that's about half full. Obviously you turn the control of the gas there to release the gas, press the piezo on the side just here, and away you go. Stick the lid on. Obviously the Sol and all JetBoil models have got a neoprene sleeve around the side of the pot, which means obviously while it's on you can still grab hold of the pot and you're not going to burn your hands. And obviously it's also got a little handle at the side as well. Not too sure how strong that is, so if you've got a full pot of water, I'm not sure about picking it up, but we'd see that in further sort of use of it really, if I'm boiling a full pot of water for pasta maybe. So just going to crank that up. Obviously the heat exchanger on the bottom of the pot is going to help spread the heat out and hold the heat closer to the pot. The burner is going to come straight up the middle obviously, and the purpose of the heat exchanger there is to hold some residual heat and help the water to boil a lot quicker. So hopefully that won't be a minute or two and we'll have enough for a cup of tea. Right, that's not been long at all, and we've got a full rolling boil there already. So I'm just going to turn that stove off. That wasn't long at all. We were just sort of conversing about how quick it seemed to be going, and away you go. So obviously, as I said before, it should. It's a little bit more difficult than what you might think actually by judging that. But there we go, you sort of twist it round and you're able to pull the pot straight off. It's half full and that's light enough for me to use the handle, or like I say, the neoprene sleeve around the outside means I can just hold it like that. So yeah, very quick boil on that. We'll see later on what it's like using the boil in the bag meal. So that was our first look review of the JetBoil Sol Advanced Stove System. On first thoughts, it's really light and easy to carry. Everything's integrated in the pot, with the bayonet fitting of the pot attaching to the stove itself. It's quite secure while boiling water, although it is quite difficult to remove, especially if you're wearing gloves. One thing I was always wary about is how close my hands were getting to the heat exchanger while trying to remove the pot from the stove, as I didn't want to burn my fingers. The neoprene sleeve and the handle worked quite well. It made me confident in holding the pot without burning myself, although I would be tempted to neglect drinking straight from the pot. The heat exchanger fins on the pot itself mean that this stove would be quite efficient in terms of fuel usage. However, as it's a top loading stove and you can't attach the gas canister remotely, there's no ability to invert the canister, so in cold temperatures the performance might suffer. I'm a little bit dubious as to how well this stove would perform cooking actual food. It might be alright boiling water and cooking pasta, but anything with a sauce or anything that could stick to the bottom of the pot probably would do. That's something we will look at in further use. Keep an eye out over coming months for an extended video review of this item. We'd like to thank Cotswold Outdoor for providing this item for our review. The review was independent and any views and opinions contained within this video are our own. You can find a link to this item on their website in the description below.